started. How many meals a day are you having right now?
Well, 6 meals, and then I'll have a carb shake on training days.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like 7 meals a day? 8?
I did 7 when my last off season when I was working with Dorian. Yeah, we added in like a massive bowl of that morning Crisp cereal.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I had a protein shake with that, or like put a scoop of protein in it or something like that. I can't remember. But,
what was the heaviest like carb per day? The most amount of carbs per day that you've gone up to?
It was when it was that off season. When I was 332 pounds. I only did that for 2 weeks. We were like, I remember we were like 328 or 329, and we had like 1 or 2 weeks left of my cycle. And he was like, and at this point we had already added trinacin. I was on like test, DECA, EQ. And for the last 6 weeks, we were like, all right, fuck it. Let's throw some trinacin.
How strong did you feel? Holy fuck.
I was just about to say, I was just like, dude.
How are your deadlifts?
Well, I wasn't deadlifting, right? But I was doing like rack pulls with 6 plates with like sets of like 10 or 12. And like,
that's what I mean.
My most impressive lift for me, because I haven't even come close to this since, was 365 on incline for 10.
Damn.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I was only like 25 or 26, right? So like that for me was good because my pressing strength has never been that great. But yeah, I mean, I think we were up to like 1,100 grams of carbs.
Okay.
And we were doing that every day.
Okay. I've done that. I've done 1,000.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, man.
Did you have to do a lot of carb powders?
I was doing 100 grams of carb powder a day.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all I was doing for carb powder, man.
Damn. I think I was doing like 300 or 400.
Yeah,
so I was just like, near the end for sure. Like I would just keep pushing more and more carb powder after a while because I was getting sick. Bro, I was like, how much potato rice can you eat? You know?
Yeah, I was doing. That's when I was blending up the rice a lot.
Okay, I started doing that too, and that's when it really fucked me up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
That's when I really started getting the digestion issues.
So were you blending up cooked rice?
I was doing cooked rice, cooked chicken, and then I would add like a little bit of like chicken broth, and then I would kind of just add like a little bit of veg, like maybe a little bit of broccoli, cooked broccoli, or like spinach.
Oh, so you're blending that up and drinking it?
Hot sauce, some Frank's in there.
Yeah, I've never blended up protein like chicken. Like I used to blend the rice up in protein powder.
Oh, okay. I've never tried that. We were talking about that last time. See, so that's what I was doing. Is I was doing the chicken, right? So that's probably what fucked me up.
Yeah, I think so, right? Man. And it was something I'm going to go back to the rice shakes now because I've been blending up oats, like with protein powder for 2 meals a day. And I think the oats are just starting to get to my stomach a little bit. Like I'm feeling like more bloated than normal. So I'm going to try to go back to the cooked rice shakes with the protein powder. I was going
to say that I don't work well with oats. And I know Dorian probably got you on like the organic oats, and I can do those ones. Okay. But there's like a threshold, man. Like you can't push oats like you can push rice. What's going on, Jordan, by the way?
What's up?
Thanks for joining us, man. We're supposed to be doing an Arnold Classic review, but we're just chatting about food right now, like always.
Food's always on the mind.
That's it. We were just, I was just asking Morgan what his highest carbs per day was. And he was like up to 1,100. I've done 1,000. Have you ever pushed carbs like a crazy amount or?
No, I mean, I've always been like for me, it's never been like crazy amounts of food up until recently. I mean, currently right now, I'm probably at my highest and I'm eating like probably like 650 grams of carbs a day. So nothing crazy, but I mean, that's
pretty solid, man.
Yeah, that's like high for me. I'm like I'm roughly around like 6,500 calories a day.
Bro,
that's a lot of food, bro. That's a lot of food, man. Holy shit.
I have a big appetite. So
how much do you weigh?
Currently I'm like 210.
So I have more than 100 pounds on you and you're eating the same amount of calories as me.
Yeah, I devour food, man. And like I'm killing the meals easy. So like I was just at the Arnold, my coach was there. He's like, oh, by the way, I need to ask you like, how's your meals going and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's 4:00 and I just finished my last meal and I'm hungry. He's like, we have to up your food again.
And you gotta post your diet up, bro. You gotta post a diet up on IG. We gotta see where you're eating, man.
I will.
That's impressive. That's so impressive for a guy 210.
I'm always just like, though, like, I'm like, do I really want to like post it? Just like, you get people who like don't understand. And then you get kids that are like, oh, I want to get big, so I want to eat his diet. And I'm like, I don't want to like promote that. Like, this is what works for me and my metabolism.
No, listen, man,
you can just tell them it's a progression, right? Like
someone tries to do that for a
day.
Someone tries to do that for a day, they're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah,
like it's easy. It's easy to understand that because it's like if you see someone benching 5 plates, you're not just going to go and bench. It's a progression, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the diet, right?
I gotta say this. I have to say this. It depends. On IG, maybe, but on TikTok, the kids will do anything on TikTok. Okay?
That's
exactly.
true.
I posted a day of eating on TikTok, and it got a lot of comments and stuff, and people were saying like, "There's no way this would work for me. This is way too much food," and like, do I need to eat this many carbs to get big? And just like unbelievable like questions people were asking. And I literally just
TikTok is another universe.
I do. Like at no point in this video did I say this is the diet that you need to do to get big. Like,
Yeah, I mean, me and Jason were just like comparing diets like the other week, and like we were pretty much like neck and neck for his off season. And he was like, dude, I'm like
very into my off season.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like 200 and like almost 260, 65 pounds or a little bit above that or whatever it was at the time. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like eating the same amount as you.
Yeah, you're kind of fresh off a show too, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been almost 4 months now, and I'm not on anything either, and my appetite is not going down. It's only going up.
I gotta ask because I know Jason can eat a lot of food because I've seen this guy eat a lot of fucking food. Do you ever have a hard time with your appetite, or do you always have a good appetite? Because like even deep in your off season right now, you're still eating a lot of food, right? And you're still getting fucking bigger. Like, do you ever have a hard time getting that food in?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not in the off season anymore, but
at the peak of your off season, it's pretty recent.
Yeah, near the end, it was getting tough, to be honest. Yeah, like there was a few times where I kind of would swap out my protein source for some protein powder or just something that would digest easier because it was getting tough. But I always made sure I got the same amount of calories, the same amount of protein in, but there were times where I'd have to swap out the sources to make it easier to go down.
Yeah, that's what we were saying too. Okay, so I didn't want to make it too long today, guys, because I want to go over the Arnold Classic. Did you guys watch it all?
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
Did you watch? Oh, you were there, yeah. Did you watch any of the other divisions?
I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched like fitness, I watched classic, and then I watched a little bit of the men's physique, of course, the open bodybuilding, and I saw like a tiny little bit of like bikini stuff. That's about it for me.
Okay, cool. Did you other guys watch the whole thing too, or just?
Oh, yeah, I watched it all. I even watched a little bit of the amateur bodybuilding.
Yeah, I watched that. Andrew Jack, man, holy shit. What a massive amateur bodybuilder.
Okay. Phenomenal physique and like structure, muscularity, but dude's got to learn how to get in shape.
Yeah, well, get in shape and
like,
that's gonna be a big hurdle for him.
Yeah, which is weird. He was working with Flex Wheeler for posing and training, and he was working with I think George Farah for dieting.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Is that the guy who won the heavyweight?
Super, and he won his pro card.
Gotcha. The guy who won the heavyweight guy, he like dreads or whatever, I think, but he just last year, 2020, or it was in 2020, he was in a wheelchair and he tried to jump 10 floors and try to kill himself. And then he came back and like, he's doing great now. So I was like, that's just a cool story.
The heavyweights.
No way.
Really good.
Do you guys know who it is? We should try to get him on the podcast.
I saw a post about that and everything like that, but I don't know his name.
Yeah, I found him on
Millionaires.
Yeah, if you guys can find him, send him to me. I want to reach out and if we could get him and just talk to him. That's such a cool story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found him on Instagram, so I'll be able to probably send him to you. But yeah, it's just wild that he went through that and like had no will to live, and now he's being, he's successful.
Yeah.
So
man, I feel like bodybuilding saves, like fitness, like in general, saves a lot of fucking lives, man.
Oh yeah. For sure.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys watched the other classes. I didn't really watch too much of it. I watched bikini. Watched Open, watched a little bit of Classic.
Yeah, I just
Classic
watched
was good. Classic was good.
Classic was
Yeah,
really
Classic was good. I watched all the divisions, like I said. You know, and you know, for most of the divisions, I think it was, you know, a pretty easy choice. A pretty like, I don't know, like the judges got it right.
Yeah. I agree.
for most of them.
Huh?
For most of them.
For most of them, yeah. And some of them it was like top 2 or 3 were pretty close, but I still think the judges got it right.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Brandon Curry like 4th of that show.
Yeah, let's just get right into the Open.
I stop thinking about it, man.
You know what? It's funny because we all had Brandon in first, right? I'm pretty sure
Right.
we all, right? For our predictions. Yeah. So we all got it right. But like when you saw them on stage, as the show progressed, you got less and less convinced that he was going to win.
Yeah,
and I was very convinced.
My finals, I thought William had it, to be honest, and
100%.
I feel like foot in my mouth for not even having him in my top 5 because I'm like,
dude, I was talking shit about him. I thought he was done.
I'm embarrassed, bro. I'm embarrassed.
I know. I can't believe how wrong we were.
Yeah,
but that's crazy, right? Like,
but you know what? Honestly, like shame on us for writing off a guy for having one bad show.
Well, he was 2 years, like the past 2 years.
It was 2 years. Yeah.
So the main thing was at the past 2 years, he wasn't his best. And at his age, like you kind of just assume, all right, he's kind of on the back end of his career. He's, you know, starting to slip a little bit. It's hard to bring it back at that age. Totally. But he proved us all wrong, and he looked freaking amazing, dude.
You know what, too? Like even in his interview, Bonac was like, yeah, like my legs are going to be good. And his legs were fucking on point.
Yeah. His legs were back for sure.
He talked the talk and he backed it up. And so I feel like he deserved that win, man, to be honest. I think he really deserved it.
I think he won, in my opinion, he won easily the side chest, easily the back double. I think conditioning wise, any of the back shots or even any of the front shots, but like I still like Brandon Curry's back lat spread.
Oh yeah,
and his front lat spread. The ab and thigh was easily Brandon Curry's in my opinion. But overall, I thought.
Well, that's the thing with
had it.
That's the thing with Bonac though. Like he's always had like you hit like abs and thighs. He has like a very weird midsection.
Yeah. And
he's also shorter than most of those guys up there. So like his shape isn't the best. So I think that was one of the things that helped Curry was just like the shape. He's got, you know, clean lines. He's a little taller, a little bit more aesthetic looking. So better, I would say easier on the eye to look at. Bonac looked like a beast. But I will say like sitting there in the crowd, like whenever Curry won, like the crowd did not agree.
Oh, yeah. I heard. Yeah. How could you?
Yeah, the crowd was like, "Wait, what?" Like, it did not make sense.
I want to say though, I am like super happy to see how well Samson did.
Oh yeah,
he looked freaking amazing,
unreal.
Well, it was crazy because like in prejudging, he was battling, you know, with Brett, and it was 5th or 6th, and then all of a sudden he edged out. Justin.
Yeah.
Justin got moved.
Prejudging, Justin was 3rd.
Yeah.
But
he really pulled ahead, eh?
He got
the finals was game changer. Yeah.
So I saw his coach, AJ Sims, make a post after prejudging saying that their plan of action was to bring him in about 5 pounds lighter for finals so they could bring out more conditioning, more separation. But obviously that kind of backfired because his metabolism is probably, you know, so fast that like he just flattened out completely and looked washed out at
finals. I don't agree with that. I think he wasn't in shape fully. I think he needed to be 5. I think he needed to be 5 or even like 7 pounds lighter for prejudging, and then he could have filled out a bit more for finals. Instead of the other way around, he was full as a fucking house.
It's like,
and then how long are you going to hold that for? You can't hold that for a full day.
Yeah, prejudging, he gave us like a little like ounce of his potential.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he looked amazing at prejudging.
Oh, yeah, bro. If he
But he's
brings,
fucking
like,
huge. And if he brings in like the glutes, like even a little bit sharper, and if he brings in the hamstring, just getting those cuts in the hamstrings, then those back shots will be like almost unbeatable. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well,
and his
upper
waist just
half
needs to
back
come
shots are unbeatable already.
just
But
needs to get
the lower half
the
needs to
midsection. If he literally brings in like his obliques a little tiny bit on the back shots, it'll make that illusion just fucking wild, you know?
In the side shots, his waist did look a little thick too. He wasn't controlling it quite as well. Probably just from carving up so hard.
I agree.
But,
he was very full. Yeah.
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 Did you see the post from Matt at all with Brett?
No.
So
What'd you think about Brett?
Well, Brett, obviously he came out, he was holding water. He started sweating during posing and stuff. He was dripping on stage even, and kept, trying to fix his tan and stuff in the middle of it. So that killed him. When he came out for finals, he was definitely a lot sharper. But they was just trying to do damage control at that point. And like Matt made a post about it, like, we all win some and lose some, basically, to some aspect of that. But he was basically trying to do something new with him and bring him in super full or something. And he basically admitted, he was just like, it backfired. The plan just completely backfired on what they had. Like
what I saw on Brett's YouTube video of the day of finals, there was a part where Matt actually talked for a minute where he's like, look, he put on so much new muscle that while we were dieting down, he was like, I was afraid to pull him down as hard as we probably should have, because that new muscle, it's hard to hold on to that while you're dieting down. And that was his reasoning for it on the video. He's like, I didn't want to lose any of that new muscle while dieting down. So he's like, it's my fault. We probably could have pulled down a lot harder on some days. And he's like, I just didn't want to lose that new muscle and all that. So I definitely think Brett looked great, of course, but he was way sharper last year at Chicago.
I talked to Matt like at the meet and greet and was just like, so, hey, how's he doing? Like, how's he feeling type of thing? Just having a conversation about it. And he was like, oh, he's doing good. And he was like, I was like, so like, you pushing him more this time than you did for the Chicago Pro? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm pushing him a lot harder this time than I did for the Chicago Pro. So like in my mind, I thought he was going to come out swinging. And I guess whatever they tried just completely backfired. But I know that they were trying to push at least during the peak process. So I don't really know exactly. But
right.
All I know is that we pretty much all bought into the hype.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think they kind of might have overestimated how much muscle he actually put on. Like in between.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because like I think they probably got caught up in watching the scale a little bit. Like, oh, we got all this new muscle, like we got to keep it. When in reality, like his Chicago look would have smoked his look at the Arnold.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if they honestly though, like he has such great shape and like such good proportions. Like if he just came and shredded, man, he actually could have been as high as probably third place in the show.
He's got a great great abs.
I think he would have battled well with like Steve Kuklo and Samson, like up in that area if he'd have been his normal.
Steve looked really good with his conditioning on point like that, eh?
Yeah. I think people were saying that his legs looked a little downsized, but like because of he was so peeled.
I think they look better almost.
I think it looked really good. Like the separation. This is in our predictions, I said I didn't like Steve's back because he never has detail, and he freaking put my foot in my mouth on that one too, because he brought for such good conditioning. He finally had that detail in his back double and everything.
He did. He just needs to be like a little thicker in the back area.
Yeah.
And I know that. Go ahead.
I got to give a shout out to my buddy who runs the Bodybuilding Odds official page, because like he got it pretty close. He got Brandon Curry first, William in second, Regan in third, that didn't happen obviously. Justin in fourth, Steve Kuklo fifth, Samson sixth, Brett in seventh. So that's what the odds were saying. Like
he was closer than us.
A couple of them are right. Closer than us, I think. Yeah, for sure. Because we all bought into the hype.
Yeah.
We all bought into that hype.
Kind of Regan too, like we all kind of thought he was going to be a little higher up than.
Yeah, honestly, like I kind of feel bad about Regan because I feel like he didn't really get a good comparison in the prejudge. Like he didn't even get a call out with Samson or Brett. Like I think he should have been like that. if that was me, I would have been like pretty upset about that, to be honest. You know,
We ended up
I don't
8th,
think-
right?
He needs
Or
a year
7th?
off, man.
yeah,
Oh, is he
that's
7th?
true. That's true.
Regan just needs one off season, like a real off season, because I feel like he competes so much and he looks amazing and he does a great job at these, like, you know, smaller lineup shows where he always gets to win every year. But it's like he really could be like that much better if he just, like, 10 pounds of muscle takes a year, if not longer. Like, there's, you know, everyone needs to get out of their heads thinking that in 4 or 5 months they can make massive improvements. Like the bigger you get and the longer you do this, we all know it takes that much longer to make improvements. So like, just accept that and take the time you need to
And
get
he's
to the
still
level.
fairly young.
He's so much time. He has
Yeah.
12 years left if he wants to, you know, so it would just be worth it if he just took a year off, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely thought Curry looked downsized a little bit as well too, though. And I think he had said something along the lines of that he was trying to come in harder and, you know, was going to be lighter than he usually is. But like, I saw him at the meet and greet and in person, like standing next to him, I could tell automatically right away that he was like downsized. So he didn't look as big on stage, but
I thought he looked a lot bigger at the Olympia.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So what's coming up next? What's the next show coming up?
Boston.
Right.
Boston's next week.
Yeah.
Do we got a lineup for that?
I know Regan's doing it. I know several of these guys said they were going straight there.
Yeah, I think Samson and Brett are doing it, aren't they?
I heard someone mention Brett, but I haven't heard him say it.
I know Nate Spears is doing it.
Yeah, Nate Spears just turned pro at Nationals.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
So it's going to be his debut is to come out swinging at Boston.
Is Kuklo doing it?
Yeah, I think Kuklo said he was going to do it too.
Yeah, that would make sense. See if I can
They're
find
giving
it.
away a truck.
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
would
going to F-150, right?
Yeah, it's the new F1. It's like the mini F-150. It's like the F-150 Maverick or something.
I like how they have these shows and they don't have 212 and they give away a truck. It's like, yo, can the 212 get anything?
You know what the IFBB needs to do is they need to have like a better like regulation system or at least like a page where we can all go to find like the current events. You know what I mean? Like, where do we find like the like scorecards, like the competitor sheets? Like, we have to go on like other pages. You know what I mean?
You got to get like Sulios or Bodybuilders Without Borders on the payroll.
100%. 100%. I don't know why they haven't. Like, they don't have anything.
Yeah. Classic.
Exactly. That's good.
Anything else?
Yeah. Well, it should be an interesting show, anyways.
It should be a good show. I think they're really trying to put on a good event. I mean, Jay Cutler is part of the promoter and stuff like that. And like I heard they have like Cisco performing and stuff or somebody or Akon. Akon's performing there.
They had at the
Like,
Arnold.
it's crazy.
What?
All the stuff they got going on.
I didn't even think he was still like a musician.
I know. I saw that on the
crazy.
list or on the flyer or something.
It took me a moment to process what you were saying.
Yeah. Like Akon's like performing.
Akon, I'm like, wait a second.
That wasn't even in your brain anymore.
I was like, is this 2012? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, at the Arnold,
what he's gonna do?
at the Arnold, they had Dee Snider. If you guys know who that is at all.
Talk about a throwback.
Yeah, Dee Snider, like it was the lead singer, and I don't know if any of the other band members are original, but that's Twisted Sister, which is 80s hair metal. And they were playing all of their songs, and he like I didn't know all the story behind it, but like basically they wrote a whole album based off of from D wrote the album based off of all the learnings from reading a book about Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like he was there and he gave like this big platinum record, like in a encasing or whatever, a gold record, something like that. He presented it to Arnold and was talking about how like if it wasn't for Arnold, their band would never have been a thing, and like they would have never made the album that like set them on fire and everything.
Never knew any of that. Wow.
No way, eh? Small world.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the slap fighting at all?
Yes.
I saw it briefly.
I missed the girls, but
It was girls?
Yeah. It was girls, bro.
Oh my
I saw
god!
clips of it on Instagram. Of the
Wow,
girls.
I'm so upset that I didn't watch the
Yeah.
girls. That's
Yeah.
I
so
saw
funny.
2 girls, and they were kind of hot.
Yeah, that's what I said
Yeah.
too. I was like, oh shit.
I was like,
Have either of you guys been to the Arnold, Mo, and Robin? I know Jason has. They have like the
No.
craziest stuff there. So I don't know if y'all
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but like they have like foosball tournaments. They have like there's like this like live LARPing where they do like medieval.
I
like,
saw the medieval shit.
Yeah, bro, they have everything. It's
They have
wild.
everything.
Like the amount of
Yeah.
stuff that they have going on is just ridiculous.
It's everything from jump rope competitions to archery to like powerlifting and bodybuilding. It's insane.
I'm gonna email fucking Arnold and tell him to get paintball in there.
That
I
would
wouldn't
be
be shocked if they didn't.
That would be sick.
Bro.
Just set up a little net and like a little,
Yeah.
airball field. Why the
Like,
fuck not? Get some pro teams playing there. Come on, like that's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah.
So entertaining.
all you need
Yeah,
to do is just get invited to go and be on stage, and then you can also like enter the paintball tournament. Just do both.
a crossover athlete.
Yeah, exactly.
Crossovers.
Bodybuilder / paintballer.
Oh
Like-
shit.
Like
That'd be
finals
sick.
was on Saturday, and like Robin would be up there competing, and then on Sunday, like while the expo is still open, he goes and plays paintball, and then he does the seminar.
Yeah.
That's it.
There. Talks about his win. What's it like to win first in 2 sports at the Arnold Classic?
Oh shit.
Gotta get your
That'd be-
speed, bud.
Imagine the sponsorship deals you'd have.
It would be confusing.
It would be confusing.
It would be
Like-
really confusing.
Be like, use my code for protein. Also use my code to get you a paintball hopper. Like what?
Yeah.
Just imagine the videos that would come out of that shit,
Oh man.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
it's cool.
we should all go to the Arnold next year. I've never been. I got to do it.
Yeah.
100%.
I've been, well, the only 2 times I've ever been actually was I was competing. So I've never been just to hang out and go like walk around and stuff like that. I competed at it in 2018 and 2019.
Dude, I want to
Back when
compete
I
at the
was in
Arnold's
classic.
next year. I really want to do the Arnold next year.
Dude, that'll be huge.
You should do it too, man. Why the fuck not?
Because I'm not even doing my first pro show till after the Arnold next year.
Who cares?
It is an invitation only. You kind of got to make your mark.
Dude,
so
dude,
that-
They're not going to invite me like a rookie.
Yeah.
Write them a letter.
Yeah,
So I have
you-
so many. It
Like,
was
this
so
is my
weird.
pro
weird.
debut.
I
was so
took a long
weird.
off season. I'm
I
going to be really
posted
good, I
on-
promise.
There
I put
was
my
that
story,
there
like,
was that
why-
open guy.
like watching the Arnold Classic, and like I had like 3 people message me like, "Dude, you're not competing this weekend?" And I'm like, well, for one, I haven't even done an open show yet. It's an invitational only, and I'm fat as shit. I was like, I just started dieting like 3 days ago.
Well, there,
Just put
there
a tan
was
on,
that,
bro. You'll be good.
the
Yeah.
guy who got last. I don't like remember his name or whatever, but he won like the Arnold Amateur 2020 or
Last
something like that. And then like so
Fabio.
that was it. That was his pro debut. As he got invited, like he applied
Right.
for it, and they invited him for his pro debut.
No,
Like,
you don't have to
That's
apply
a
for
big-
it. If you win the Arnold Amateur and get your pro card, you're automatically invited for
oh,
this.
I didn't know that. I was just like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's balls though to be like, hey, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
do a pro debut as the Arnold Classic, like,
Man,
and you don't
kinda
think
have
you were
to,
gonna
though.
get like.
Yeah, you
You're
have
kind, of,
to.
you're kind of expected to. Like if you win the Arnold Amateur,
But
like,
you can still make your pro,
Yeah.
pro debut before that if you want and still do
Yeah.
it. He waited and made his pro debut
Dude.
at the Arnold. That's
This-
like, you know,
this Andrew Jack guy gotta make his debut at the Arnold next year and try to mog a few people.
Oh shit. Yeah.
he could if he comes in shape.
That's what I'm saying. He actually could. That's why
It's
I
gotta
said
be peeled.
He's got to
Peeled.
be peeled.
he needs a little bit more size and then be peeled. Yeah.
Yeah.
His back needs to be thicker. That's probably it though, man. He's pretty complete.
His back is crazy wide though,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, that's what I'm
his,
thicker. I think I'm
his
back
hamstrings, his hamstrings, adductors, and glutes are all there. They were just there was no lines in them whatsoever. Like they
Yeah,
were soft
true.
as hell.
Well, the crazy thing with this year is because they had so many people dropping out, and the guy who, like I said, got last, and it was his pro debut. he was still top 10 because he was ninth
Yeah.
place. There was not even 10. So like, you got top 10 at the Arnold. Congratulations, you're ninth place. Like,
You know what?
I guess that's cool.
In a few years, when you look up his record, all it'll say was his pro debut, ninth place at the Arnold.
Exactly.
You don't know how many people were in it in a few years. Like,
No, that guy's in his 40s.
Forget that.
But then again, who's looking up his record? You know.
Well, if he ends up being somebody and makes it, you know, like does well in the future.
Yeah. Could you imagine getting like a fucking top 3 as your Arnold pro debut or something like that? Like just.
Yeah, that's how you make some noise.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
insane.
it. But then it's hard, right? Because then you have so much hype. Do you crumble under the hype?
You know, I was just watching some of the recaps of the Arnold and stuff, and I was saying that to my wife. I'm like, you know, someone like Brett still looked really good. You know,
amazing. He looked great. Yeah,
or anything like that. He still looked good. He still got top 6 at his first ever Arnold. And now you got all these people talking shit. Oh, he was overhyped. He was this, he was that. And I'm like, he still got 6th place at the Arnold, and this is only his second open show.
Yeah,
he's still looked good. He just didn't look as sharp as he was previously. I'm like, it's kind of sucks. You get all that hype, and then you got to get all the backlash if you.
Yeah, you know what though? Like I watched his video afterwards, and he's a smart guy. He was just like, my goal was to get compared with the best, and he did that. So that's a good way to look at it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any delusions of winning. You know, it's just like I think he had a good mindset going into it, despite the hype.
Yeah.
But you got to think about too, like the fact that like it's only his second show being an open bodybuilder, and he had so much time off. You're almost like it's kind of like your second show competing, not quite, but like you don't have everything figured out in your peak process the second time you compete. And I mean, it's like he has competed before, but like he hasn't competed with that amount of muscle and that amount of food and like how his digestion works. I mean, it's night and day difference from whenever he was, 212 or classic or whatever.
Definitely.
Well, he's still got to get bigger though, so he's going to have to continue to make those adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he's what, 5'10", something like that.
He's 5'10". I think he's only like 5'8" or something.
No, I've hung out with him. He's
taller than that.
Inch and a half, 2 inches taller than me.
Shit.
And I'm 5'8".
Well, that was a big Arnold lineup then, because I mean, I guess there's a lot of guys like 5'11", 6 foot in that lineup though. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Samson, Regan, Kuklo are all about 6 foot or 6'1".
Yeah, they're all tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be you. How tall are you, Mo?
I'm like almost 6'2". Like just under 6'2". Yeah.
That'll be you. You'll be one of the tall guys out
6'2" with hair.
6'2" with 6'2" with hair. Yeah. That's never gonna happen, unfortunately.
Do you choose to get rid of your hair, or have you lost it?
Bro, I used to have such a nice flow. Come right over. I was sexy, man. I was sexy once upon a time. But no, yeah, like it's hereditary in my family, like to start losing it, like on like the back of the head, and I just sped that shit up, man.
That's exactly what I would do. Like if I start losing my hair, I'd be like, yep, I'm just gonna embrace the bald head and shave it.
Listen, I hung on to it for too long. I had one of my buddies pull me aside in the gym one day and was just like, "It's time, bro." I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, "Time for what, man?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Your hair, man." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Dude." He's like, "It's not looking good, man. You got to get rid of that." I was like, "Okay, it's done deal."
Dude, that's a good friend though. That's a good friend though.
You're right.
I had a boss that I had to do that to. Like he was a doctor and I was his office manager, and I had to tell him because he used to like have like 3 pieces of hair and like sides, and then he would just like comb those 3 pieces of hair like over his bald head, and I was just like, he was only like 40 years old, and I was like, "You're like 40, but you look like you're like 70 because of what you do with your hair. Just shave it off and grow a beard." He did, never looked back, loved it. Everybody thought he was like 20 years younger.
See, that was me, except I had 5 hairs instead of 3.
So people don't really understand this though. It's like if it's in your genes, if it's hereditary, then it's going to happen at some point already. But like you said, using gear is going to speed that process up a bit or a lot, depending on the expression of that gene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I shave my head, like I pretty much only have to shave the sides. Like I don't even have to shave the top. Like nothing grows there.
Can we put out like on this podcast that we need donations to get you a wig? So
You gotta go. You gotta go to
your
Turkey or
flow.
whatever and get the
I'll get
the
hair
plugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
getting that hair surgery now. Yeah.
I'll get
No, we gotta do like a hashtag. You'd be like, bring back the flow, bring back the mo.
bring back the Mo. Bring back the Mo flow.
Trade the mo for the flow.
It's official. You guys have to make the initial donations.
All right.
I'll try not to use it for cheat meals. I'll try to save it.
Just don't use GoFundMe.
Yeah. I'm not funding your cheat meals because I'm not going to be getting in any for a while. I'll just be jealous.
Yeah. Jason doesn't want to hear about cheat meals.
So
I'm gonna make
no cheat
I'm
meals
sure
at
they're
all
coming.
now?
My weight's actually dropping too fast. Well, I've been on the diet for tomorrow will be a week.
Are you still getting cookies and
And-
muffins?
Yeah, I'm still eating a muffin every day.
You're not dieting, bro.
Dude, I was doing that through peak week last year.
You're one of those guys. Well, hey,
Must be nice.
Like,
Dude, my pre-workout meal, like I'm sweating right now because I like wolfed my pre-workout meal down right before this podcast. And it's like 130 carbs and like 50 grams of protein. And I like got it down so fast. And I'm just like started pouring sweat as soon as I finished eating it.
your delts are looking a little bit more capped again this week. So
Yeah, they are.
easy
Feel
to see
small.
things are going well for you.
I already feel small.
You know what's crazy
Yeah.
about what's crazy about Jason though is like in person the guy is like fucking very three-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like fucking you're huge, man. Like you're fucking big. You're gonna be so
Appreciate
big
it.
this year. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
I can honestly kind
You
of
know
tell.
when
Go ahead.
when I trained with you and Joel Thomas and everybody like at that posing seminar, my wife was literally after the like workout, she goes, "So you're like really big, but seeing next to you like Robin and Joel, they're really thick." She's like, "I don't know if you should go open."
I remember her saying that. I remember her
Challenge
saying that.
accepted. You. So what does she think now? Because you're thick as hell.
Yeah, I mean, she deals with it.
Yeah, man. You make crazy progress, dude. It's crazy that you've jumped like 2 divisions.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
know.
much, man. Not everyone does that. That's sick.
No, that's crazy.
And you
I
actually
gotta-
have the genetics to be in either of them. You know.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
I was funny. I posted some of my old like the Arnold Classic pictures from 2019, as a throwback leading into this weekend. And I was like, I had people comment on it. They're like, dude, that was the best look you ever had. Like that was like you should have been top 3 at the Arnold that year, easy and stuff. And I was just like, I can't imagine getting back down to that weight. Like I had to be under 192.
Yeah, no. Those days are over. Those days are over, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to come in shredded as possible in the open, and your shape is going to do so much for you, man. And like obviously, you put like thickness on your back, so it's honestly just like everyone else, man. It's going to come down to conditioning for you, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be the biggest guy on stage by any means, but
Well,
if I can have good shape, structure, and like come in peeled to the bone, I think I can hold my own. Obviously, if somebody like, someone like one of the top guys shows up, I'm not gonna, they're gonna show up.
Obviously, like
The
there's the
size,
freaks.
the conditioning,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's gonna be,
yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
No, man, I think you're gonna do well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I'm like, of course, my first open show, I'm gonna get ready for it. I'm gonna be nervous too.
yeah, dude,
Just
that's
like any other show, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of nervous because I'm nervous getting ready for a 212 show because people expect me to do good.
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm nervous getting ready for an open show. Nobody expects me to do anything, but I expect it for myself. And I want to prove myself that I can do good on an open stage.
It's going to be
Yeah.
different for you walking out on stage with big dudes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different because, like, I mean, you've always competed with people like with the same structure as you, right?
Well, see, that was the difference though, too, is like the first time I stepped on the 212 stage, in my head, I was the little guy,
Yeah.
and then I saw the pictures and I'm like, oh shit, I fit in.
Yeah,
I fit in just as good as anyone on the stage. So I'm like, I'm really hoping that when I see the pictures on an open stage, I say the same thing and not, well,
I think
shit,
you will, man, because I think like, especially your limbs, like your arms and legs are so round and full, like, I think that's really gonna help you a lot.
I hope my legs stay. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, because I know I've added a lot of quality size to them this off season.
Yeah.
I hope that the size stays as I diet down.
Do you find that's where you lose a bit of size when you diet?
When I have to diet super hard, but I won't have to like push it to make a weight this time. So
that's true.
That's true. Yeah. That's true, man. That's huge.
Like right now I'm doing 20 minutes of cardio a day, 40 on rest days, and it's light, like on the bike or walking on a treadmill.
That's me. I end up losing my legs during prep, so I always stick to the bike. I sit on a recumbent bike and do as little as possible when I'm doing cardio with them.
It's weird. It's weird. I never felt like Stairmaster affected my legs that much. Like sometimes when I did a lot of Stairmaster, my legs were improved. Like they were harder, but they didn't lose size.
I agree. That's what I usually switch to the Stairmaster like the last 5 weeks. Because I think it brings in so much more detail in my legs.
I think it comes down to more like you just have to make sure like your training's on point with your leg training, right? Like, like if you start doing like different stuff where you start, falling into the like higher reps mentality, like obviously like we don't, but like just in general, like if you're lifting heavy fucking weight and you're smashing your legs, doing a little bit of stairs isn't going to make your legs waste away. But some people maybe, but I think in general, like especially like with enhanced people, should be okay.
The volume and recovery of your training has to be taken into account there.
Yeah. Like I said before, like even doing stairs, like where I'm sprinting upstairs, my legs were like the best that year. So I think there has to be some kind of like, there has to be like a symbiotic relationship between what you're doing, like high intensity wise and like low intensity wise. You know what I mean? Can't do 2 hours of low intensity and expect to have like good looking legs. You got to do, there's got to be a cap, like an hour max, but then you're making up for it if you need to get leaner with high intensity interval training, right? Or like more frequent workouts. Like there's other ways to burn fat. So yeah, there's got to be like that balance with the amount of cardio you're doing, I think.
Yeah.
Like even in, like, let's say, Jordan, if you do the bike, no problem. Like if you love the bike, do the bike, definitely. Right. But even 2 hours on the bike, hour and a half on the bike, at some point, it's going to burn up some of that leg glycogen.
Oh yeah, for sure. No doubt. But I mean, like when my cardio, like for before nationals, like I had gotten up to an hour and it was usually, 30 minutes beginning of the day, 30 minutes later on in the afternoon post workout. And for me, it was like, that would still eat at my legs if I did anything besides the bike, because I was doing other cardio and we started like paying attention to how it was affecting my legs. And then that was when, Justin was like, nope, I only want you on the bike. And from that on, my legs didn't lose any more size. And that was probably like still like, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks out. But like
that's
my
really
legs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to me. I guess like, I mean, you're sorry about my dogs, guys, but yeah, I got it.
Yeah. No, I think, like the bike is definitely the best choice for low intensity cardio. I think stairs is more high intensity cardio, in my opinion, if you're doing it right. If you're not holding on, if you're just using your legs and your glutes and you're not hanging on the machine, it's fucking hard,
Even if I do hold on to the machine a little bit, I am like concentrated on squeezing my like hands and glutes every step. I'm like contracting the muscles purposely.
For me, I'd rather do 30 or 40 minutes max on a Stairmaster, but not hold on or do anything like that, than do like an hour fucking holding on. Like it's literally gonna make or break you,
My last prep was my first prep that I didn't use the Stairmaster.
Oh, really? And did you notice your legs were bigger? Obviously they were bigger, but did you notice like the same result, I guess, or different?
I only did that because like I tried to start on the Stairmaster, and like after a week my knees were hurting me. It was affecting my training. So yeah, I either like walked outside or just walked on the treadmill at the gym. But I don't typically, like, just because my genetics, like I don't really lose any size for my legs. I don't feel like I lose it more so for my upper body. I don't think it would matter for me.
Yeah. No, you gotta fucking control those dogs, boy. Okay.
Listen, man, they're guard dogs. They're just doing their job.
I got a
So,
guard dog right here. Okay.
Yeah, you got an alarm. You're fucking on your own if shit goes down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
I'm trying to convince Jason to get a dog. So, I'm working on that.
Yeah,
So
my wife's been trying to convince me for 5 years. So.
Why don't you want a dog, bro?
Don't do it, bro.
Oh, it's not that I don't want one. It's just then you got to do something with it every time you travel. You got to, feed it and stuff. I got to feed myself. I'm trying to bodybuild here. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just, I don't not want a dog. I don't know. Priorities.
Dude, that's the hardest thing for me, especially where I have two like big dogs. Like feeding them is not cheap, and like they need a special kind. Like my dogs eat a kangaroo-based dog food, right? That's what they eat. Otherwise, they have other issues.
Ashley's popping in her head right now, and she's like, "Did I hear dogs? Are you talking about dogs?"
Hey, Ashley, what's going on?
Hi.
Ashley, what kind of dog do you want to get? Ask her.
I want a Frenchie.
Oh yeah. See, those aren't too big. You can travel with those.
They'll make you look bigger.
Yes, exactly. That's why I have a Chihuahua.
Yeah, get a small dog if you get a dog.
Small dog, man. Get the small dog.
How many dogs do you have?
Big ass dogs.
I was gonna say I got 3.
You 3? What kind?
Dogs.
There are 2 of them are American bullies, and then one of them's a pit bull.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got real dogs like me, bro.
Yeah, they're like one of them's like both of the 2 American bullies are like over 100 pounds each.
Yeah, so, I got 2 cane corsos and one.
But they're my spirit animals. They're like legs are like this long, and so they're like a foot off of the ground, and they just stand and they're just like.
But then their heads are this freaking big.
So you guys.
I got a big head too.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, we're on the same wavelength. We might be stupid, but we're broad and stocky.
Yeah, no, I love my dogs, man. I really do love them, but they're a pain in the ass. And like Jason was saying, like if you're like we're bodybuilders, we need to travel. You know what I mean? So that definitely makes it tough, right?
Yeah. But honestly, isn't it worth it?
Oh, dude.
It's because you got big dogs.
I would say big
dogs.
Yeah, I would say yes, but especially now where I'm trying to move and stuff, like I was telling you, Robin, like it's a pretty big burden, you know.
But in my mind, I kind of screwed myself, and that's also because of my wife. So like, because she loves the dogs, and like we have 3 of them, and she wanted them, and it just happened kind of like we somehow ended up with 3. But like one dog, you can get a easy boarding or one person to watch the dog or to come check in on it. 3 dogs, there's a lot of people that are like, yo, I'm not coming to watch your 3 dogs. Like, no, like, and they're like, what? They're like, the dog's huge, he's gonna eat me. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, they're big babies that I have. So
it's just a lot to handle though.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's if you're not used to it.
If you're not used to it, yeah. Like for me, with new people, of course, they want to like run and jump and like think that everybody's their best friend. For me, they I'll just let them out of their kennels, whatever, for the day, and they just hang out and like lay around and do nothing. They're just lazy, so they don't even make any noise. But with other people, they're like, it's like letting a kid off the leash with sugar, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for new people. So
yeah, same with mine.
Yeah,
I also was raised with.
That's why you need one like this.
Outside animals, we were never allowed to have our animals inside growing up.
Oh, that's a good rule.
Well, we lived on 5 acres, so it's like the animals were just outside animals. They were like hang out in the garage and stuff like that when it was hot, but they never came inside the house.
You just need a 7-pound dog, and you can just bring it anywhere, and it's super easy. And she doesn't eat very much at all,
No, yeah, exactly. That'd be way better.
When you're cooking your breakfast, fryer it up an egg.
That's it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even be one meal, man. She wouldn't even be one meal.
One
I
day
just love having dogs though. Like I've always had family dogs.
Same.
They just bring so much like joy, I feel like.
My mom has 4 dogs.
4 dogs, dude. That's too many
She has
dogs.
4, yeah, she has 4 poodles right now. And my
Why?
sister lives underneath me in the basement apartment, and she has a Pyrenees mountain dog.
5 dogs in one household.
Holy cow.
3 in this one, and then there's
Okay.
4 at my mom's.
Gotcha. It's a lot of dogs, man.
Yeah.
Most probably like me. Like I will love my dogs, and then there'll be days where I'll just curse them and be like, I wish I never had you.
Like 100%.
But
I'll
I'll always be like, I'll regret it and be like, no,
like
hate
the
it.
companionship and having them around and playing with them in the off season compared to the stress of them like annoying the shit out of me whenever I'm dieting. I don't know. That would be.
That's what it is, man. Like in prep, I hated my dogs. And now in the off season, I love them again. You know, so it all depends.
That's why I got her, because she's not annoying. Like she just chills all the time. I just, it's just super easy. Like that's why it's okay, because I just kind of, it sounds bad, but I ignore her a lot more on contest prep.
Yeah, you have to though.
You kind of
I've got my Yoda. I'm good.
Yeah, but I take her for a walk twice a day, and she's good with that. Or I take her to the gym with me, she's good with that.
Jason's not gonna hold up. Ashley wants a dog. Ashley's gonna get a dog. It's
100%.
gonna happen.
Definitely.
Let's go ahead and make a wager now. Who's in on the Jason's gonna end up getting a dog? I'm in.
The Frenchie Fund.
French fun.
Exactly.
Ashley would have to go get that dog herself. I'm not going to get it. If
That's
I came
fine.
home when there was a dog, I wouldn't be mad.
She'll bring it
But
home, and
I'm
you're
not
gonna
gonna
fall in
get
love with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
always
smart.
those stories. It's always the stories where it's like the person, like whether it's like there's stories just like the dad or the boyfriend or the husband, whatever. It's like, oh, I don't want a dog, and they instantly end up being like, the dog bothers them so much until they just like break, and then they're like best friends with the dog. And Jason's gonna end up being like that. He's gonna be like, oh my god, I love this Yorkie, and Ashley's gonna be like, it's not even my dog. It doesn't even want to come come to me.
Ashley's already said that. She's like, you work from home most of the day and I'm gone most of the day. She's like, if we got a dog, it would be in love with you, obsessed with you, and barely know who I am.
Yeah.
It's like a cortisol release, like it just reduces your stress when you can just like chill like with your dogs,
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I mean, that's why
the good part for contest prep, right? When you're just chilling on the couch, you got your dogs, just like, this is great,
Well, Robin, you're probably like me. Like my dogs are super attached to me because I am home all the time, because I'm working from home.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I was taking a shit earlier, and like my dog came in and just lied down and just stared at me.
Layla does that too. Yeah.
Yeah, like this can't be without me for like a minute.
Yeah.
That's me too.
Yeah. Same thing, right?
Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it for the Arnold wrap up. So
it's good. It was a good Arnold wrap up. Yeah, 10 minutes of Arnold and like 40 minutes of like random talk. It's perfect though.
So do you
All right,
guys
boys.
agree with the rest of the show though? Besides the open or whatever, everything else, you agreed with the placings there?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah. I felt like they did good with I don't really care for watching men's physique. But
the dude that won, he was freaking amazing though. And as soon as he walked out, I thought he won.
He deserved it, but I also like the fact that like he wasn't overwhelmingly huge. There was a few guys that were up there. They looked like they were open bodybuilders, from the waist up. Of course, didn't have legs that matched. But I'm like, there's no reason you should be that big in men's physique. And I'm glad that like that didn't get rewarded, because it's like it seems like men's physique, the guys keep getting bigger and bigger, and it's like, you're not a bodybuilder. It's supposed to be like a clean line, like smaller, slimline physique, pretty boy look, whatever it is you want to call it. But like, I don't see how, like, if I'm looking at you and I'm impressed and you look like a bodybuilder, you shouldn't be in that class to me.
It's an illusion class.
One last thing about
big muscle class.
Physique. One last thing about men's physique though. I don't know if any of you watched the whole show or not of men's physique, but the guy, I think he got 5th eventually. He was an Asian guy.
Yep. Huge.
Did you see him at prejudging?
Yeah.
He forgot to tan his legs.
Yep.
He only tanned his upper half.
What?
Oh my god.
He had a great physique, but he forgot to tan his bottom half. And he came out there with, great looking up top, and like then
translucent legs.
I think Dennis James was like, I think he forgot to tan half his body there. And Fuad's like, Oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't even notice until you said that. And like, then I looked down, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh shit.
Did you guys catch the moment when is it however you say it, Ramon? Is that how you say his name for Classic?
Yep.
Yeah.
When he turned the wrong way and like just
And
kept
Breon's
posing,
like,
and Breon's like, "Hey, bro, face that
the
way."
other right. Quarter turn to the
It's
other
like,
right.
in my mind, I was like, I mean, I know you're diabrade, but like, it's never
He
been
doesn't
quarter
really
turned to the
speak
left.
any English.
True.
He doesn't really
Yeah.
speak
True.
any English.
It never quarter turned to the left. I watched.
But you still never
Wellness-
do that, no matter
I
what.
watched
But
Wellness
still,
and
no,
Bikini.
you always quarter turn to the right. But yeah,
Exactly.
I think he thought he was going into a side chest.
I don't know. It was wild to see. It was funny. The whole crowd laughed.
For Wellness, I forget the winner's name, but she was really good. And you know, I think it was good that they were awarded like conditioning in that class and not just size. So
Yeah,
that's like,
she looked
because I think
amazing.
a lot of the women, they just had to bring better conditioning. And I think that class, they just got to get a little better conditioning in the legs. But Bikini was good. Laura Lee, easy win for her. I think it was just fucking, she killed it.
She looked good. Yeah, she brought a good package.
The fitness was Ariel, however you say her name.
That was a shocker. Yeah.
She turned pro at 17. She was like basically coaching herself into the Arnold. And so like my coach, Justin, stepped in and like helped her like finish it out and helped her with like stuff while she was there. So that was cool for him. It was a good, win in his book.
That was awesome for her.
She stomped it though. Like she stomped everything.
I will say, like, I know she did a lot of her prep herself, and Justin helped there to really bring it in at the end and peak her and stuff. And I've always thought no one's going to stand next to Missy Trescott and win the physique part of the fitness. And then when I saw her standing next to her, I was like, dude, her conditioning's winning this.
Oh yeah,
it
was like
easy.
I didn't think anyone was going to beat Missy in that physique round either.
Yeah, and Ariel looked amazing. Her conditioning definitely won the physique round, and then her posing, her actual routine was insane.
That's such a crazy class. You have to do a physique round and that routine. Like,
dude, can you imagine being that peeled? Your joints are aching, your muscles are like cramping, and then you have to do these backflips and stuff on stage. And I'm like, holy crap! We like
so
many torn muscles and shit.
We compete and we're depleted and we're like, I don't want to walk 100 feet like over there in that direction unless I have to. And they're like doing flips. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. That's crazy to me.
Dude, honestly, getting shredded being a girl is like way harder. Like, like from a physical standpoint, like it's brutal. Like girls get when girls get to the point where like their legs are shredded, like I can't even. They feel so bad.
Like, you know what? I could get on board more with the men's physique division if they had to do some acrobatic shit like that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Right?
That's what they should do with men's physique.
Yeah. Good idea. They should have to do some acrobatic shit like that. And then you'd have all these guys that were like male cheerleaders and stuff and gymnasts coming into that.
Gymnasts would just come over and fucking dominate.
It would be men's wellness and it would literally, or men's fitness, and it would literally just be dudes shirtless wearing like yoga pants,
That's my class, bro.
I know. But you'd be in the fucking in the monster weight category. Like
if I was born a girl, I would be high level wellness competitor right now. For sure.
For sure.
Made for that
shit. It's interesting actually with the wellness class because it's like it's a different look, because you don't want to be too top heavy because they don't like that physique. It's got to be more bottom heavy than anything. So
I was just gonna say it's 2022. You might be able to cross over. Anything's possible nowadays.
Ladies,
I can be whoever I want to be.
Yeah, you identify as well.
Ladies, if you want to do wellness, you just got to make yourself look like Mo.
All you got to do is you just got to change your pronoun on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like rewriting your birth certificate, man.
So that's it.
Name fucking shit.
No, it is interesting. Like I heard some of the wellness girls talking about their training. I've seen some of the YouTube videos of them leading into the show training, and a lot of them are training like lower body 4 times a week and upper body once, maybe twice.
I got a lot of my girls, like bikini girls and wellness girls I coach are doing the same thing
3 times a week,
especially girls that already have like a decent upper body.
Yeah.
I was gonna add one thing too. So the pros gym, that's like there, it's the old Powerhouse gym. It's like right down the road from the venue. So like I was in my hotel and I walked over there to train. Awesome experience, but like the biggest thing, it was cool for me, you know, being a new pro, so Mo will relate to this, but like you walk in, they ask you if you're a pro. If you're a pro, you don't pay a day pass. You go work out for free. Everybody else pays $25 to work out.
Do they just ask you, or do you have to show them your card?
They didn't. They just asked like who I was and stuff, and they were like, "Oh yeah." And can you tag us on Instagram? And you know, go ahead and have a good workout. That was it.
Oh shit! The biggest flex would be if you walk in and they don't ask you if you're a pro, and they're just like,
they just
you
know,
go, sir. Please enjoy the gym, sir.
This dude's swole. He's gonna kill
Please
it.
enjoy
Just
the gym.
go.
He's like, do you need a personal?
Thank you for coming in here.
Yeah,
that gym looked so busy. It looked like there was no way you could get a good workout in there.
It was, but it was just the fact that like I got to go work out for free. And it was just like for me being a new pro, it was just like a good feeling. I'm like,
you got to
wow,
meet a lot of other
it actually
pros.
pays off. Yeah, but it was just like it paid off, you know, being that I could go in there for free and watching everyone else pay. You're finally like, this actually means something. This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how I feel when I go to Pure Muscle Fitness, but it's on a smaller scale than Arnold.
That's true. Yeah,
but it's cool going to that gym, just like walking in and knowing everybody.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, boys. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm fucking hungry. Gotta go eat.
I gotta go work out.
Same.
All right. We'll catch up again next week.
All right.
Have a good one.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Canadian Beef Podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and check us out on Spotify. You can use our code on helixonline.com. The code is BEEF20. That's BEEF20 at checkout. You're gonna save yourself 20% off. You're gonna help our podcast grow. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next episode.